Hello, I'm Scott Barrett. Welcome to the Redwood Plastics video. In this video, we'll take a look at a variety of plastic parts and hear firsthand from Redwood clients. We'll visit the RP manufacturing plant and show you how Redwood Plastics has produced over 10,000 plastic parts. Now, plastics by design can be formulated with any variety of physical properties. So naturally, it was only a matter of time before people began to replace their OEM parts with longer lasting plastic parts. In the 1970s, the founding partners established Redwood Plastics with a very simple objective: to identify production problems in resource-based industries, manufacture industrial plastic parts that would solve the problems, and convince industry to use them. And over the years, that philosophy has been the cornerstone of Redwood's success.
I think we've had from the very beginning a philosophy of wanting to help the customer. We kind of coined it a few years ago in supplying wear solutions to industry. I think it is a history, a tradition that runs throughout the company. It's not just a phrase that we coined a few years ago, but we felt it was something, by using supplying wear solutions to industry, it could kind of sum up what we do.
Redwood's philosophy of success is the same as it's been since 1971. Basically, we supply wear solutions to industry. So what that means is we make a plastic part to come up with a feature and a benefit that is going to enable our customer to be more profitable, to be more successful. There's really not a lot of value and long suit in going out and supplying a plastic part against a steel part simply to reduce the cost. It must supply another benefit.
Yeah, I think that the vision really hasn't changed. Working with our customers to solve problems and working on solutions to applications in their plants, and working with the engineers. The engineers help us a lot in looking for areas where there may be a potential for a new product or a new opportunity for the company to give our customers, the end users, a product that will work very well for them.
When I saw firsthand all the different shapes and styles of plastics, I had no idea the magnitude of all the industries it serviced. Later we'll show this section in depth, but here's a brief introduction of the segment on a variety of plastics. At the onset of any new project, we start by identifying the problem. Then we investigate the part. And then we ask some very important questions. Firstly, is the application? What's the problem with the part? Where does it go? What does it do? Then we find out about the expectations of the client. For instance, are they looking for a longer life part? Maybe something with noise reduction or production efficiency improvements. Then, of course, what elements will come in contact with the part? Is it going to be cold, rain, or grit? There's a variety of different elements you can use to build a part. This is tough cast, very strong stuff. This is oil-filled nylon with a variety of different properties from the tough cast. Then you've got your self-lubricating item. You can see by the shine on it, it lubricates itself. Of course, these can be used to build some interesting and very convenient quick change parts like the sprocket and bearing holder. And you can also get a combination of the two. This will hold a shaft. It's got a high impact on the outside and a harder property on the inside. So as you can see, there's plenty of different combinations here. That's why information is vitally important. And that's why every time you call Redwood, the Redwood employee is going to ask you these questions. Because we know until we really identify your problem, we can't really identify your solution.
The most commonly known elements are abrasion. If the application is surrounded with other more abrasive material, then a plastic that possesses slippery abrasion resistance characteristics is needed. Impact. If the application interacts with hitting, smacking, or pounding elements, then a plastic containing the characteristics of toughness and elasticity is required. Load. If the application exerts a heavy weight, such as 8,000 psi, then a plastic with good compressive strength is needed.
The variety of plastics segment. All these different industries use a variety of plastic applications. Our goal is to investigate production problems and provide a plastic solution. This segment will show plastic use in all industries, starting with the agriculture industry.
At the Alberta Wheat Pool, a plastic part replaced a metal part to increase wear life. Grain goes onto a belt and folds into a perfect inner spine. Closing the spine wears away the belt and therefore stops the entire production for belt replacement. A polyurethane plastic was chosen to utilize its characteristics of being eraser soft to bowling ball hard, providing minimal friction and long life.
The marine industry. In the marine industry, plastics were used to solve a safety issue.
When a large ferry docks, wooden fenders are used to direct the ferry into position. Steel on wooden fenders causes friction. Friction can ignite dangerous sparks and erode wood. A slippery but hard plastic solution was needed. A UHMW plastic fender with slick non-stick characteristics creates virtually no friction. It allows the large ferry to slide smoothly into its docking position. The heavy equipment industry. Originally manufactured as a brass part, this slide block is used to balance weight by shifting the load from side to side. This original part was heavy and needed constant lubrication, and as a result was wearing out along the sliding chrome hydraulic bar. A tough cast slide block was developed to be tough, elastic, and increase wear life by margins of up to 10-to-1. The mining industry. In this segment, ultra-high molecular weight polyethylene is used to prevent chlorinated contaminated soil from sticking in the entry area of a thermal oxidizer plant. It's such a versatile plastic due to its low coefficient of friction and toughness, it shrugs off abrasion, is resistant to impact and chemicals, and absorbs no moisture. The wood industry. Most often, redwood solves tough wear problems for industry. The log carriage is one of the toughest wear applications. Heavy weight sliding on pads that take the impact of heavy logs, sand, grit, shock, wear, abrasion, and impact. A nylon plate with its characteristics of self-lubrication and high load was the only answer. The construction industry. Nylon parts can be as small as a cable reel sheave or as large as a crane sheave. Nylon is often the material designers call for demanding applications. Used where higher loads, good wear resistance, and surface and impact resistance is critical. The transportation industry. Placed on the door section of trains, these high-pressure laminates are incredibly tough, offer excellent wear characteristics, and are very hard and durable. High heat, load, or electrical applications are no match for our laminate's hard surface. The food industry. A selling benefit for this freezer is the engineered design of industrial plastics. The spiral freezer uses minimal plastic parts that offer a maximum result. Small plastic rollers with a long lifespan produce a maintenance-free and closed system. The construction industry. Produced for bridge applications, SVI pads are designed and engineered composite materials that help reduce and control shock, vibration, and impact. Innovations. The sports industry. This innovative invention takes full advantage of industrial plastics. This treadmill is impossible to produce without plastics. The UHMW plastic is the only material that provides characteristics of slickness, self-lubrication, and cut resistance. Whether the application calls for efficiency, productivity, safety, visibility, or life expectancy, Redwood will supply a plastic part that will solve your problem.
What I really like about Redwood Plastics is their willingness to listen to what industry and what the client has to say.
After using them for a period of time, we became very comfortable with them. We found that the materials that they were supplying outlasted many other products.
The thing I appreciated about what Redwood is doing is they were innovators. They had a good product, and over the years I've had association with them, and they've come up with solutions to difficult areas.
The benefits for using Redwood Plastics is they've always been very cooperative in assisting us in research and development and creating new products and helping us reform metal products that we have. And we've spent a lot of time and effort with Redwood, and I would recommend them to any other company for that asset itself. It's helped us a lot in our business.
Once the proper plastic is chosen, production begins, and we go to RP Manufacturing. Hi, we're in RP's manufacturing facility, and it's time to go on a tour. The man is going to take us is Sean. Come on in, Sean. Good to see you.
Hi there, Scott. Nice to meet you.
Now listen, when it comes to plastics, I usually think of casting, but actually if it's a harder plastic like UHMW, it actually comes in sheet form, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. All of our UHMW are nylon, and quite a few of our different grades of phenolics come in a sheet form, which we machine on our CNC router. If you'd like to see it, it's right over here. As you can see, Scott, this is our CNC router. We bought this piece of equipment about 8 months ago. The reason we bought this is for mass production.
I see you're doing some mass production work now. What kind of time saving are we talking?
You can probably do about 25 parts to 1 part.
That's pretty impressive.
We used to originally do these parts on our CNC mill, which is right over here. Since the acquisition of our CNC router, our CNC mill is our mold making center now.
So what about the casting process, Sean? Are we going to get to see that?
Yeah, what I'll do later on is I'll take you to our casting department and you can see a mold that we actually made on this piece of equipment. But right now I'd like to show you our CNC lathe. This is our CNC lathe. What we did is we purchased this piece of equipment like the CNC router for high production. But the added feature this piece of equipment gives us is it gives us precision. It can take this piece of nylon and make this nylon shiv.
And now, how long will this outlast the metal part it replaces?
Well, on an average, nylon will outlast a metal shiv about 10 to 1. But the best thing about this piece of equipment is we can make this nylon shiv in about 20 seconds on this machine. Well, Scott, this is our urethane casting department. And as I was telling you earlier, this is the mold that we made on our CNC mill.
Ah, yes, I recognize it now.
Yeah, it's quite an intricate mold. It's a 4-piece mold. What we do is we pour 78 urethane into it and make a belt cap for the wheat pool.
So that'll be that little piece right there.
Yeah, this is a finished product, and as you can see, one of our technicians is now about to make a pour. What we call this is called static pouring. There's no movement involved. You pour the urethane right into the mold. And if you come with me, I can show you one of our spin casting molds, which is another type of casting. Well, Scott, this is the last part of our tour I wanted to show you. This is what we call rotary spin cast mold.
That's really interesting stuff. Hey, thanks for the tour, Sean.
Well, thanks for coming,
It's
Scott.
been very informative. We're going to wrap up the tour now with a shot of some rotary spin casting for you.
That same philosophy, I think, when you're talking to the younger people that are coming through, is that if you enjoy your job, and it comes across to people that you enjoy your job, and tell it like it is. Don't give anybody the gears. If you can't do it, you can't do it. We've always had that philosophy at Redwood. If we can't give it to you, solve your problem now, maybe we can down the road.
In summary, in the 21st century, the cornerstone of Redwood's success is the same as the day they started: to identify production problems in resource-based industries and manufacture industrial plastic parts that will solve those problems.